Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, May 1, 2018. Hope everyone had a good Tuesday. Chugging through the week here. So is the market. Market's very undecided what to do. We had another day of market opened up, kind of so-so. Ended up down just what I would call a little bit. 78 points on the Dow. But it's quite interesting because I thought we're definitely going to have, we had a nice recovery during the day. Some buying came in. So let's go over a couple of stocks that are quite interesting and might be some potential buys for you guys. And we'll go over some of the stocks that I've mentioned before, which are potential shorts, I think. If you can short, otherwise put options work too. Okay, as I said, Dow still holding below the 10-day moving average, and looks like it's kind of hanging around this level. And of course, as you can tell from the drawing here, any breakout above this line, the trend line here, above 23,261 would, any close below that would be a bad sign for, I give it 2 days just to make sure we have confirmation of that. And above this would potentially be a nice breakout. So it's kind of like one of those wait and see types of scenarios. If you're a buy and hold investor, you're still hanging in there. But if you're kind of a swing trader, if you hold something for a few days or a week, there's potential to make some money here. There's a couple of stocks I want to go over just real quick. Let's take a look at the Qs as well. Same type of scenario. Closed higher, opened up kind of mediocre. Volume has not been very impressive. If there was, that's one thing I like to look at. If we had a good volume day, that would be a good sign to really watch. Maybe get ready to jump in a couple of stocks that we like. So same scenario there. We are just barely above the 10-day moving average. It looks like I'm just basically eyeballing this. So let's start off with a couple of stocks that we've talked about in the past. Profire Energy. Didn't do too much today. These stocks are kind of petering out a little bit, these energy stocks. I don't know what who knows what oil will do. It's kind of hanging around that $66 to $68, $69 level. I know the refineries are probably making good money right now because there's a lot of them that are out, and the spread between their margins has been increasing. So anyway, this one has some potential. If oil goes up to really break through that $4 level, for now, I would just kind of hold on to it and see. This is kind of one of those things that I would just kind of, it's one of those hurry up and wait type of scenarios. But patience is going to be key. And of course, if you lose more than 7 or 8% of your value of your stock, then definitely sell it. That's my rule of thumb, and it's the Investor's Business Daily rule of thumb as well. Zix Corporation, it's been kind of uptrend here. It's been staying above the 10-day moving average, which is nice. Had a little setback here on Friday. A little disappointed in it because I bought it around $5. Today was up nice, 2.7%. Happy with that. I think there's some good interest in this stock. Let's see what the volume was. We're averaging 286, and we're at 422. So we had a nice bump up in volume. I like this company. They're into cybersecurity, and I think they're going to recover nicely. This would be a type of a long-term type of situation. Long-term for me. Trading in this market is probably just a couple of weeks, but I think you can definitely make some money, especially up to around the 550 level. But we'll see what happens. Let's see, a couple of other stocks that I like. Tandem Diabetes. Bought around the $5 level. Been coming up nicely. Still hanging in there, still above the 10-day moving average. It fluctuates a little bit, and of course the other day it was like, oh no, down 8-9%, but it recovered nice. Volume is really lame today. It's at 900 and let's just go back here and see. Averages, I think, is at 947. Oh, sorry. Well, today's volume was 947. Average is 1.9. So just kind of leveling off here a bit. Nothing good, nothing bad. My arch nemesis CPG down a little bit today. It's trending in the direction that we want it to go. I bought some puts, as I mentioned yesterday, around, I believe it was $6. I'll have to double check that, but it's either 7 or 6. I can't remember. I'll have to go look. And I expect, just from the pattern here, I expect to pull back down to that level over the next month. I'll be very happy if it does, and if it starts to go against me, well, I'm just going to get out of those options. I only have around $400 or $500 on the table on these put options, so not a great, won't be a great loss, but there's a lot of potential, I feel, to jump in and get some gains off of here. Let's see here, some other interesting stocks. Synovus I also have put options in. I expect it's leveling off a bit. Volume is decreasing, like on all these, like in most of the market and all these energy stocks. But we're just going to kind of wait and see what happens with this one as well. I have some put options in there, not as many as I do for CPG, but I would expect this to drop, especially if the price of oil kind of pulls back a bit. And one thing I mentioned yesterday was Denny's. Looks like I had a bit of a touch of a sell-off today on increased volume. Above average volume, 600,000 shares, I believe we have here. And our average daily is 265. Not definitely the end of the world, but I would just watch this closely, make sure it holds above the 10-day moving average. But we're still trending in the right direction for Denny's. Eventually, we're going to have a pullback, like we always do, and it'll probably be a time to get back into the stock. It's been doing quite well. This is one where you can go on vacation for a week. And may not have to worry about it too much because it doesn't fluctuate that much. Of course, it looks like it does on the chart, but it's all relative. You know, these are $1 increments, so you won't lose your shirt if you don't watch it every single day. Huntsman. Let's talk about Huntsman. I'm not sure what happened today. I didn't look at any news. I didn't have much time. I'm just more interested in the charts. News does factor into some of these things, of course. I don't know if they had earnings, but they were down quite a bit today, and it looks like they had some good resistance at $28 levels. We could see back here. If it closed at 29, if we can get to maybe 29.50 or maybe above the 10-day moving average, I would definitely buy back into this because it's just one of those stocks where it's kind of easy going. You'll make a little bit of money every day, as you can see in the past history, but it gives you fair warning if the trade isn't going your way. So, for example, if you for some reason bought over here, at the $34 level, say, well, we're having a good bump up, maybe it's going to break through 36. You would have put in your stop loss order at 7 or 8%. You would have been out. Let's see, probably around here. So yeah, definitely not the end of the world. As stochastics has been working nicely for the stock because of the ranges that it has. So it's pretty simple to follow. And you can make some good decisions just by going through and picking up some shares and then dumping them maybe 3-4 weeks later, depending on how things go, of course. Let's see, what other interesting companies do I have here that I've mentioned in the past? Let's see, what did I write down? Denny's, CPG, CPE. Oh, CPE. Synovus, PFIE, BTE. Interesting one. Let's Big Tech Energy is traded both on the New York and Canadian Toronto stock market. This one has been on fire, and it looks like it has a heck of a jump. But if we take a look at the weekly chart, we can see back in 2014, it's got as high as $40. So I think this is going to be one potential if oil continues to rally. I'm going to actually put this on my watch list as possible some trade in and out. If oil continues to do well, we can definitely see the stock go higher. But if it's going to kind of level off, it's really going to be hard to say. Next level will probably be around if it continues to climb, probably around the what do we have here, 550 level, which is $1 a share, which is not a bad profit. But this is definitely something to watch. It is a bit extended, as we can see from the stochastics, but that doesn't mean it can't go higher, right? So what do we look for? We would look for, if you want to jump in, which I don't know if would be a prudent thing to do because it's gone up quite a bit. I would probably buy it maybe 470, maybe 465 to make sure that we still have that uptrend intact. It has been going up quite a bit. Volume has been way above average, which indicates there's definitely some buying interest in here. Will it continue? Don't know. But that's one thing. I would look for a day with higher volume if I was going to jump into this end around maybe 460, 465. I'm going to add that to my list. A couple other ones that I'd mentioned the other day. Let's see here. Sage Therapeutic. Let's see what that did today. Nothing very exciting. It's kind of hanging in there. It could possibly still be a time to jump in. Let me just see if I can a little bit. As you can see, this is a volatile stock. It jumps around quite a bit. Let's see here, guys. I was 147. Still, I would wait until I got about the 10-day moving average, perhaps, if you want to get into this one. I am going to stay out of this one just because of the price. If I had a Robinhood account, probably would jump in, maybe buy a couple of shares just for fun. But I don't think I would get in this myself personally. The other stock we looked at was SJM, and we're still having some indecision here as well. It's kind of hanging around this area, whatever, a low of like roughly 113, we'll say. But any jolt to the upside would definitely be a buy. We've had pretty lame volume as well. No indication that there's a big buying spree. So it could be, honestly, folks, I mean, I hate to say it, it could really go either way. It looks like it's kind of petered out a bit from the stochastics to the bottom level. So you do have the potential for going higher, but if we got a nice update on some volume, that would definitely be an A+ sign. I would jump into this. But right now, it's kind of like one of those things just to watch, I think. But of course, it's your money, and you need to be careful with it, of course. And if you're not sure, always talk to a financial professional, right? Okay. I'm trying to see if I have anything that I may have missed. No, actually, the BTE was the one I found today, which I thought might be interesting for you guys because it's low enough where you can jump in. But it's going to require a bit of watching and a bit of patience, and make sure you always set your stop losses. And never ever, like I said, I can't say enough. Never ever, always have an exit strategy. Never ever lose more than 7 or 8%. Okay. So that is my market report for today. I'll see if I can dig up for some more interesting stocks for you tomorrow. My favorite one for today is probably Huntsman. If we can get some momentum up, I would definitely jump into there and hold it maybe for a few weeks like I've mentioned. And let's hope CPG and CVE crashes and burns. That's what I'm hoping for. Everyone have a fantastic evening, and hope to do another video tomorrow. Take care.